Well, tonight we are reluctantly turning the page on a decades-long career here at Fox 9. Investigative reporter Jeff Baillon is retiring after 41 years in the business, 38 of those right here at KMSP.
Jeff's stories have changed lives. They've even changed laws. And tonight, we take a look back at his incredible career.
At its core, investigative journalism is about bringing truth to light. And in 1993, KMSP reporter Jeff Baillon did that when he uncovered insecurity at MSP Airport.
We went undercover to investigate if security is as lax as we've been told it is.
The investigation revealed gaping holes on the front line.
We got a person on our staff to actually get hired as a screener. We exposed how the training was just a joke.
Your two main tools.
It was so bad that the instructor at the training course would help people with the answers so that they could pass to get the job.
And remember, this was nearly a decade before 9/11.
That story got some of those companies fired.
That story, one of hundreds we dug up that shed light and spurred change over a 41-year career.
Don't gamble trying to find the leak, and don't use a landline in the house to call for help.
Stories that made you look.
It really brought home the message of you don't want to be messing with a gas leak in your house.
And made it hard to look away.
People fall through the ice all the time in this state, right? But do they know how to rescue themselves if nobody else is around? So I thought, this could be an interesting story. I'm going to fall through the ice and see if I can rescue myself.
When he wasn't hurling himself into icy waters or blowing things up, you'd often find Jeff deep in documents.
There's a lot of research, you go to courthouses and you dig up records and you track down people that maybe haven't been around for years and years and you try to get them to talk. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
In 2015, one of Jeff's investigations rocked the psychiatry department at the University of Minnesota. A young man named Dan Markinson died by suicide while part of a clinical research project. Jeff uncovered records pointing to ethical violations leading up to Markinson's death. As a result of Jeff's work, a legislative auditor launched an investigation, and the U spent $8 million cleaning up its protocols so future research subjects would be protected.
I think the art of journalism is not getting the first blush or the superficial story. I think it requires digging. And what I admire about Jeff is he's like a dog with a bone. And he wasn't going to let go of that story. He just pursued it until he came to the bottom line. And
results like that fueled Jeff. He knew he was in a unique position to help people who didn't have the power or the resources to bring justice on their own.
We had pending lawsuits with the federal government, and we were just pretty much hitting our heads against the wall.
Doug Kelder and his family had tried for years to bring the remains of his uncle, Army Private Bud Kelder, home after he had been left to die in a Japanese prison camp during World War II.
Come to find out, the government actually knew all along where they might be, but just kind of dragged their feet about actually helping these people find them.
We ended up getting some of the remains sent back to us. So I don't think we would have accomplished that without Jeff's help.
And it wasn't just Bud. The remains of 3 more soldiers came home thanks to Jeff's persistence. Those stories, he says, were the most rewarding of his career. But in 41 years, there were plenty of stories that, well, let's just say didn't go as planned. Like the time in college when Jeff and his Bemidji State news crew accidentally kidnapped Governor Rudy Perpich.
So we're at the airport and nobody else is around. His plane lands. He gets off the plane and comes walking up to these 3 college students who are there with his beat up station wagon and says, "Hey guys, can you give me a lift into town?" The fact of the matter is the mayor and the police chief and everybody had been at a restaurant nearby. His plane came in early. So we give him a ride into town. They see his plane's there. They think he's been kidnapped. We took him to our little TV studio on campus, did an interview. They finally caught up with him, but yeah, you can't make that up.
Those early days as an eager and enterprising college reporter paved the way for Jeff's first real job in TV, a one-man band, a reporter, photographer, and editor in Sioux City, Iowa.
The early Jeff Baillon is strangely familiar to Ron Burgundy.
But it wasn't long before Minnesota came calling.
I came here, I was 25 years old, and I thought, I really wanted to come back to the Twin Cities because this is my home. My wife is from here. It's a great place to raise a family.
Jeff would spend the next 38 years at Channel 9. As a reporter, he covered the Capitol, the environment, and transportation. He also worked on the assignment desk and the anchor desk. He was even the assistant news director. And now, he says, it's time to move on.
I'm not retiring. I'm stealing a phrase. I'm rewiring.
Across the street from the office, a walking path Jeff knows well. It's where he'd come to clear his head. But in the last 6 months, he's had a lot more to think about.
I had prostate cancer. Emphasis had, I hope. Caught it early, had the surgery, and a few bumps in the road from that, but I'm doing well and really thankful that I've come through that and I have this future now to look forward to.
These days, Jeff is feeling great and excited about spending more time with his family, his wife Sandy and his 2 daughters.
I have so many things I'm looking forward to. First and foremost, I'm going to be a grandpa, first time. Really looking forward to that. Looking forward to having time to just kind of explore new opportunities, things to do, hobbies, travel. And I'd really like to get involved in doing some volunteering because the job always got in the way of being able to make a commitment.
It's been an incredible ride, the kind of career most people dream of. Doing what you love every day for 41 years and being lucky enough to write your own story.
What I'd like to be remembered for is 1, he always looked for the truth. 2, he did it with integrity. And 3, it made a difference.
Jeff Baillon, Channel 9 News at the state capitol.
Mission accomplished.
Who is that guy at the end there?
I tell you, you watch that and you realize that Jeff was cut out of a cloth of journalism that was rare back then. It's rare today. Our business, our craft will miss you horribly, but I got to tell you, the people that will miss you the most are the ones that surround you tonight.
Thanks.
On behalf of all of us, thank you for 4 decades of groundbreaking journalism.
Thank you. I may come back occasionally. So,
Okay.
We'll take it.
Look forward to that.
Free pass.
Well, I want to thank God for the opportunity to have spent 41 years in a profession that's been my passion. So many people have been there for me along the way. First and foremost, my family. My wife Sandy has been my coach, counselor, and along with my daughters Rachel and Kate, my biggest supporter. Television news is a team sport. Lots of talented people working together to bring you the news day in and out. To all the managers and coworkers who've shared in my journey, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to all of you, thank you for watching. I hope the stories have opened some eyes, opened some minds, opened some hearts, and in some way made a difference for the better. It's been an honor and a privilege.